One of the most important and influential figures in Bucks history and a pioneer in the NBA, Wayne Embry had an impact on basketball that went well beyond the court. Embry became the league's first African-American general manager in 1972, and he spent his career inspiring others and giving back to the game. Our David Griffin sat down with Embry to discuss growing up during the civil rights movement and the importance of athletes using their platforms to promote social activism.
History would dictate pretty much what we could and couldn't do growing up in the 40s and 50s. And there were a lot of times when I would become discouraged. But my parents, my family would always say to me, don't become discouraged, make history.
For all of your contributions to sport, as the first African-American general manager, what do you look back on now with the most pride in your career, Wayne?
Well, you know, I have a great deal of pride in what we've been able to accomplish. And I had no intention of being a general manager years ago when it happened. I was just content with being a player and went into broadcasting.
Yeah.
And the owner of the Bucks came back and asked me to come to Milwaukee and be part of the front office. A year later, he called me to his office, said, you're the new general manager of the Milwaukee Bucks. It didn't resonate at first that I was the first. And so, of course, media and that made a big thing about that. And they said, well, do you see any significance behind it? And I said, only if it is significant to others, because I got a job to do. And I'm going to do the very best that I can. And so if it's significant to others, then hopefully, you know, it'll inspire others. You know, it was pretty tenuous at times, and as you well know, a lot of hard work, and got to persevere through a lot. But I have a great deal of pride.
So a native son of New Carlisle, Ohio.
Yeah.
There's a stretch of the interstate there called Wayne Embry Way. Growing up when you did during the civil rights movement, and a prime of your career, quite frankly, that intersects with all of Dr. King's teachings and all of Dr. King's speeches and everything that's been central to the civil rights movement. What is it like for you now to look back on everything that you played through and everything that you had to overcome to get where you did today?
At the time, you know, we did what we could do. We as African Americans did what we were allowed to do. And I look back at the times when being the only African American on my high school team and then the entire high school, going into restaurants and being told you can't be served, and going to movies, told you couldn't go. And it was just, you know, at the time we accepted it. Now looking back, I become quite emotional about that as well because it was humiliating. And so in the 60s, when Dr. King started the civil rights movement, he, of course, was the leader, and of course there were others who were involved. It was just gratifying to see that his efforts and the courage that he displayed to make the world a better place. I'd like to live with the inspiration he gave me and try to inspire others to move forward.
And because of everything you experienced and went through, you've been very vocal in your belief that NBA players and all athletes should use their platform for social activism. That's something that's very important to you.
Well, I think that we all are human beings who have a right to think and exercise the First Amendment, the right to speak. And so if you have a belief, I think you should express it and be an inspiration to young people as long as it's the right way. And of course the right way is a way to promote love and respect and try to avoid disrespect and the hatred we still see remnants of today.
How do you think we can, as a league, continue to help educate players today if the sacrifice players in your day took to make this possible for them? How do we improve understanding of that?
Well, I think they understand. There's more and more. I think more so when they get exposure to Bill Russell and myself and Oscar and some of the old-time players. I think they get it. Back in our day, all we wanted to do was belong. You know, we don't want to take anything from anybody. We just wanted equal opportunity to display our abilities and what we could do. I think that what we went through has certainly opened the door and paved the way for a lot of the young players and has brought the league to where it is today. But I think the players appreciate it.